What's up guys, I'm randomfrankp, and today we're going to be checking out a brand new gaming headset from Corsair, the HS60 Haptic. A headset that lets you feel your audio. So when there's explosions, gunshots, not only are you going to hear it, you're going to feel it. I, for one, love headsets like this. There's not too many out with actual haptic feedback, so it's definitely pumped to check it out. So in case you're interested, we'll go through it all, give you my thoughts and opinions in this review. So first up, like I said, with this haptic feedback, we saw it back with the Sony Pulse Elite Edition headset that had haptic feedback in the ear cups. Razer has their Nari Ultimate headset. So now it's Corsair's turn to give your ears a little bit of a tingle. And given its name, the HS60 Haptic, it's actually pretty much identical to the original HS60 and that HS lineup for the 50, 60, and 70. So what we have here is a rebranded HS60, but now with haptic feedback. The technology is called Taction and is actually built into the drivers, so it's not like, software or anything, it's actual hardware inside the headset. But build-wise and construction-wise, it is the same as the HS60. It's got the same 50mm neodymium drivers, same frequency response, impedance, just now haptic feedback. And also taking a look at them, the other obvious change is gonna be the white Arctic camo they decided to go with. I don't know why Corsair did that. I much prefer the old color scheme where it was either black or white, and then depending on whether you went Xbox One, PS4, or PC, they had different color accents on that. I personally don't like it, and I wish, if anything, maybe just go like the D brand route where they also have camo, but it's that stealth kind of embossed look to it. This isn't doing it visually for me. However, they did black out the Corsair sail logos on each of the ear cups now, so it looks more stealth in that regard versus the silver logo in the past. And despite the grill in the ear cups looking open back, this is not. This is a closed pair. That grill look is just for aesthetics. Now, comfort-wise, it does expand to fit relatively large heads, I'd say. It's pretty flexible, nice and ample padding on the top of the headband with their nice memory foam ear pads as well. Super comfy, no tension points or anything. And as you can see, pretty discreet all around too. It's not like a bulky, obnoxious-looking headset, minus the white camo. However, I know, request to bring back the glasses test as well, and yeah, same thing. There is a bit of contact here at the top of the ear cups since they're pretty large 50mm drivers. These over-the-ear ear cups and the actual pads are on the larger side, so it makes contact with them, but it's not pushing them into my head or anything. The ear cups do rotate around 30 degrees, I'd say, on the yoke to kind of fit better when you're adjusting it on your head. The yoke and the actual headband slider is aluminum as well, so it's gonna feel nice and sturdy, very solid overall. Definitely a durable headset. Then before we move on, there's only 3 buttons really on the bottom of the headset. On the left side, you have your volume rocker with a mic mute button underneath. Then on the right side is where you have the control to control the haptic feedback. The microphone here is removable if you want to just ditch it and wear it out maybe, but the cable that's built in is not. It ends in USB, so you plug it right into any USB slot on your PC. But going back to the microphone, it is that flexible gooseneck design, and inside the box it does come with a one of those little foam plosive guards. And in my opinion, it sounds really, really good. All right, so this is the mic test for the HS60 Haptic. What you're hearing is all raw, unedited audio. As you can see, plugged right into the front of my PC with the USB. And I think, all things considered, this sounds really, really good. Definitely impressive for, a gaming headset. And it doesn't have that tinny, kind of nasally sound that a lot of headsets do. I think it's very clear and full for the most part as well. So just very, very impressed. I would definitely put this up there when it comes to gaming headset quality. So great stuff with HS60 microphone, and again, this is all raw, unedited audio for you. All right, so getting now into the sound quality. I've said this in my HS60 review and even put out the HS60 Pro. For the price, when this first retailed, those headsets sound fantastic, and they were both under $100. I believe the HS60 was either 60 or 70 as well. Now they've dropped to 50, so it's the same exact drivers, like I said. It's the same headset, just now with the addition of the haptic feedback, and it still sounds really, really good. You can check out my dedicated videos on those older versions, but just a short little TLDR. Great soundstage, even though they are closed, like I said, it does a pretty good job of opening that up. Definitely great as well for positional audio and pinpointing where those footsteps are coming from in game. The one aspect that I always like to see most just traditional gaming headsets improve on is bass. So that's where the HS60 Haptic really turned it around, because now you're gonna feel that bass. So let's talk about the haptics, because this is one of the things that truly always, got me excited when it comes to different headsets out there. So I said in the beginning, way back in 2012, when we saw the Sony Pulse Elite Edition headset, that was one of my favorite headsets of all time, because you just have this new dimension and it triggers another sense. You have your audio and now you're feeling the response to that. So when you're gaming, whether it's, like in a game like Battlefield, which has just fantastic audio, by the way, the better the audio is like engineered in the game, obviously the better this is gonna work. But just hearing, gunshots and explosions around me, planes flying over, bombs going off everywhere, every shot you take, you feel it. Every grenade in the distance, you're gonna feel it a little bit. It is such a unique experience that really has to be experienced. It's very hard to describe to you guys, and it might sound like a gimmick. You might think, nah, I don't need it. But until you actually try it and you feel that just extra response to your gaming, it just gets you more and more immersed. And for prolonged use, it doesn't really get annoying either, so it's done right, which is important. So like I said, the control for the haptic feedback is on the bottom of the right ear cup, so quick and easy to adjust, and you can turn it up all the way or down all the way if you just want, like a pair of regular headphones, like a headset. But I will say, the volume, according to your actual like in-game audio and your PC audio, does reflect to the actual levels of your haptic feedback. So if you're playing at a very low audio level, you're not gonna have a lot of haptic feedback. So do keep that in mind. The higher, PC volume you're at, the more feedback you're gonna be getting. I will say music's a bit of a different story, although it still does work. If you're a big bass head, you like a lot of like hip hop or old school stuff like that, where there's gonna be a good amount of bass, then you'll still feel it, yeah, and it's gonna seem pretty cool, but it's obviously gonna be a different sort of level of haptic feedback compared to, watching movies or gaming with it. Then real quickly, talking iCUE for their software, there's actually not too much, which is always a good thing, I'd say. You don't actually control any of the haptic feedback in iCUE, which I thought was surprising. I thought there'd be some sort of level of customization, but that's just on the rocker on the bottom of the right ear cup. But you do have, some built-in EQs you can go through or create your own sort of EQ. I think the bass boost one sounds the best overall. And that's just for like all across the board. Then also it's gonna increase the bass, which is also gonna increase the haptic feedback. So I would go bass boost. And then on the right side of the software, you have your mic level adjustments as well as side tone for hearing your actual voice when you're talking or whatever, streaming to your friends. So I am really impressed with the HS60 Haptic overall and what they're doing here, because again, they took a staple from the very popular and very, successful HS60 and HS60 Pro, revamped it, improved it with haptic feedback, and now altogether we have a great headset. Again, construction and durability, very, very good. Sound quality, very good as well, only getting better with haptic feedback now. Great microphone quality as well. So all great stuff. The only real cons I would point out is, again, just not a fan of the Arctic camo design. I'm sure they're gonna come out with different versions later on down the line once they see how many people are just not a fan of that. And also, again, I really wish this was removable. I wouldn't say it's a deal breaker at all, but I just wish this was removable in case anything ever happened to this. It just would have been nice to be able to, pop it out in the future, maybe replace it, but now that's really not gonna be the case. This comes in at $130, which for a wired gaming headset is kind of steep. Even considering the HS60 and HS60 Pro headset right now, I believe got dropped to $50. So you're spending a $70 premium for the haptic feedback here, which I think is just a bit out of what I'd like. Again, I'm on your guys' side. I think $100 for this would have been perfect. Maybe keep an eye out around the holidays. If it drops around 100, I would definitely recommend. But I think for a haptic feedback headset like this, it's done well, it's done right, and there's not a lot like this out there. So I, for one, am loving it. And guys, that'll wrap it up. If you want to check it out, I'll put a link for you in the description down below. Hope you enjoyed. I'm Random Frank P. Have a good day.